Hi, I'm Michelle with The Tailored Life. Good to see you again. Today I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk about my self-check-in. The self-check-in is something that I think is important to do maybe once a week or once a month, just depending on how things are going. The 5 areas that I look at with my self-check-in or my well-being are: first, financial, where I look at money and anything that is creating a challenge or a concern for me. My physical well-being, am I exercising? How do I feel overall? My social well-being, have I made the connections with family and friends that I want and need that are helpful for just my overall happiness? Am I connecting with people or am I alienating myself? That kind of gives me a chance to look at some of that stuff. And the other is career. So my working relationships. Am I fulfilled with work, with progress I'm making with my work, just in general? The self-check-in doesn't mean that I look at each one of those every time. This self-check-in, my concerns have been more about financial stuff. Recently, my husband and I decided we were going to refinance our mortgage on our home. The company we have right now, not extremely happy with, and we know that our current mortgage rate is higher than what we would like. We took a look at some other mortgage companies to see what options there might be out there for a lower interest rate. We found one. We contacted them, got approved for a loan, so we're working out those details. Now here's where the financial thing comes in. We asked the mortgage provider to roll in all extra cost into the loan so we wouldn't have to pay any money up front. Got a frantic call from this person from the bank that said, oh, we need $500 today. And I got anxious and, kind of stressed and worried about it. And I was like, well, I thought all the things were going to be rolled in to the loan. Oh, yes, they are, but I still need that up front. Then I said again, but I thought they were all going to be rolled in. So anyway, neither here nor there. They still need $500. But the issue was this person said they needed it today. So this was yesterday. And I thought about it and I thought, oh my gosh, there's some other things I was going to pay before that. And that's what those funds were earmarked for. If I don't do what I was planning on doing and I do this instead. And then I said, wait. This is really affecting my well-being. This is making me anxious and tense. I'm becoming frantic, and I don't think there's any good reason to do that. So I took a breath, thought about it, and I said, what's the rush? Maybe on her end, maybe she's trying to meet certain deadlines, but it's our money that's needed to move this forward. I called her back and I said, the funds are not accessible right now. They will be on Friday, and that's when you will get those funds on Friday. So she went from assertive to agreeable, and my stress was contained. The situation was addressed. But sometimes things like that, when you're pushed to do things that you're not expecting to do, that can really impact your well-being. That was one of those things where I definitely had to do a self-check-in. So my financial well-being, that could have snowballed into some other things. I would have felt tense and stressed about what if my kids or my husband or I had a medical emergency and maybe we had to pay out of pocket. Those extra funds wouldn't have been there to offset the funds we let go for this, I have to have it now issue that came up. But I encourage you to do a self-check-in, because sometimes you can curtail making quick knee-jerk decisions that you just don't need to make. That's my self-check-in. Financial well-being, that's important. So taking care of my financial well-being in that instance helped me with my personal well-being, because now I'm not stressed or concerned about that. The budget is in a happy, calm place, and all is well and right with my world. All right, Tailored Lifers, I'll see you the next time.